All right, bang, bang. Today's Wednesday. It's June 8th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Hey, everybody. Before we get into this interview with Derrick, though, I do want to talk to you guys about the secret to longer-lasting sex. And you guys already know that it's with Roman swipes. Roman swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast-acting, but they don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to discreet, unmarked packaging, and each swipe packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. Just take the swipe out of the packet, swipe it on, let it dry, and you're good to go. That's it. I mean, listen, Roman swipes, I'm sure back in the day when these guys were doing the real world and the old challenges, I mean, even now, they should be using Roman swipes. It's definitely the way to go, even if you're on the reality show. I mean, they got that footage. You know, you don't want to be putting a two-pumper in there. So get these Roman swipes for the maybe challenge people or whoever's listening. So the way to do that is go to GetRoman.com/dogwalk to get $10 off when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/dogwalk. One more time, GetRoman.com/dogwalk. Excuse me. Can't talk. But yeah, best way to go. Last longer during bed. It's a no-brainer. Okay, let's get into the interview with Derrick here. In-studio guest today is from The Challenge. He's also from Chicago. His name is Derrick. Derrick, welcome to the show. Big fan of you. I'm happy to have you in.
Ready for you to walk this dog, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I can't believe Barstool has become what it's become, and it's here in my backyard, my old backyard.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many drunken nights I've had up and down these streets back when I used to live here. Am I allowed to say that?
You can say whatever the fuck you want.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking
you
thought.
Say whatever. Why, do you guys not swear and shit on your podcast?
Oh, shit. No. Oh, we swear. Look, I think that there's an elegant way to say certain swear words.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really glad that finally on Paramount Plus, they let our very strange beauty come out.
It's nice.
Because we can swear on Paramount Plus. It just comes out. Fuck yeah. Well, I fucking love this shit.
That's
this
funny.
This is fucking awesome.
It's funny you say that because we've talked before, and I've heard Dave say this, Portnoy, that if there was ever a version that you guys would be able to air that was uncut and just, I mean, everything, like, people would pay how much for that? Like, I mean, think about it. If you're dropping $75 for a Mayweather fight, I would drop some money for a full season of the challenge, uncut, like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever happens, you're fucking seeing. I don't know if you guys would do it, though.
I mean, it's part of the reason why I started the podcast. ChallengeManiaPodcast.com. Everybody who wants to hear the untold stories. Mm-hmm. As you know, the untold history is coming out on MTV pretty soon. But at some point, I was like, dude, these people's stories don't stop on television. Like, the reason why they're on reality TV is because you could literally hang out with them for one day and quickly realize and understand why they were put on reality TV. Because they could do anything. They could be going back and forth from the refrigerator, watching TV, going to the grocery store, and some fucked up shit will happen to them.
Yeah.
It's not our fault.
Yeah.
It's not our fault.
Do you feel
it's
like
our parents' fault?
Do you feel
it's
like
the environment's fault?
Do you feel like you guys missed the boat not having like a Big Brother 24-hour feed?
I don't think I'd want that in my life.
I know you wouldn't, but you know, like, that's what people would really enjoy.
I mean, do you watch the Big Brother live feeds?
I don't watch Big Brother, but I'll tell you this, like, for how much I like the challenge, I would definitely pop in for sure. Like, good seasons, good cast, like, big episode off the heels. It's like, all right, let's see what's going on, you know? So, but it's also a little different too. I think they're more, they turn it around faster than you guys, right? You guys, it's like you shoot for 60 days and then they cut it up for a couple months and then they air it. Correct? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, about approximately. Mm-hmm. I think it's expanded to like 8 to 10 weeks. And yeah, they chop it up and you get some of the storylines and you get some of the stuff. You get, I mean, if you think about it, you know, like you said, I mean, we're out there for, you know, about 2 months and you don't get all the stories. Mm-hmm. It's again, the reason why I started the podcast is because my whole story was not put out there. Everything that I experienced was not out there. The way I interacted with this person, that person, and made it to the fucking end was untold. Yeah. So, you know, there's so many of these stories that, as you're talking about, you would probably like to see, especially when it comes to like game strategy you don't see everything on why I voted this person in or why they voted that person in and all the intangibles that come with it.
But they could only show so much.
Yeah, I would definitely look like much more of an asshole than I do now.
You think so?
I mean, it's all, these games are all very much like, somewhat, mobster mentality. It's are we riding together? Are we doing this shit together? And does everybody need to know our business?
Yeah, but I feel like you've gotten off pretty clean. Like you're known as someone who like keeps their head down, not afraid to get their fucking hands dirty at all. And you kind of slide, I would say. That's fair, right?
Sure.
Like you're and that's a good spot to be in. Somewhat, that's a good strategy,
Yeah.
So it works out for you for sure.
I mean, in some ways, on All Stars 2, it didn't happen quite that way because I mean,
you had to take the role of the fucking. You had to jump that role, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
I was forced into the role because we won the first competition, and we were forced into the role of, well, I guess I got to be the asshole. I have to put 4 names on the board. By the way, the Challenge All-Stars Season 2 on Paramount Plus. You haven't seen All-Stars 3 yet, so I'm not going to give any spoilers. But apparently you do know your All-Stars 2 shit, which I'm really happy because, I hate talking. I mean, it's weird talking to people that really don't know the show.
Totally. So here's my situation. I've watched every season since the Inferno 2, aside from Spies, Lies, and Allies. I know what you're going to say. You were giving me shit in the hallway. That double agents, it kind of lost me. It lost me, and I feel, do you get that a lot?
Look, this is the complaint from the masses is exactly what you just did. And I don't know it from you personally. I watched the show. I documented it. I talk about every single moment, every single argument, competition, elimination in detail. I break this shit down in detail. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't care. Oh, we got a new character? Cool. Let me dissect them. You're like, there's all these new people and they're all switching teams. And I was rooting for this group of 2, but wait a minute. Now they're not teams of 2 anymore. And my favorite person is now with this person who, they don't even have a fucking team name. How am I going to follow this shit? So I think you fall into the category of reasons why the viewership has gone down. And
is that confirmed though? The viewership has gone down?
Yeah.
Because wasn't that a big thing where did it spike up big time? A couple seasons ago? What was it? War of the Worlds 2 or War of the Worlds 1 maybe? I know they had
think you're right.
There was a spike at one point where I was like, oh, this is going great. And then they probably bought into that whole, hey, let's Survivor, fucking Paradise, wherever the fuck they're grabbing people from. And listen, to each their own. I'm fucking 31 now. Whatever. Maybe I'm the guy who's on the outs where it's like, it's your fault. You got to adapt. The challenge is adapting. So, but I don't know,
I think that, so there's more going on in the challenge universe. It's not just, okay, we're all upset that the people we grew up with are not on the show anymore. Because that's why people are pissed. Like, they're pissed that their Tom and Jerry. They're pissed that their Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and etc. Their Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers are not on the show anymore. The Avengers that they grew up with are not on the show anymore. And you're trying to force feed me this fucking, this mutant or this other wannabe superhero that we have no interest in.
Yep.
So once All Stars came out, people were
which
like,
is awesome, by the way.
Yes, we love this shit. The attitude kind of changed a little bit. It wasn't as cutthroat. All Star Season 2 is a little bit more cutthroat, like we were talking about. Like, sure. Kind of forced to put more than enough names on the board to piss people off.
They had to get their feet wet Season 1, and then Season 2, I think the people that people really wanted to see, they brought back, and cast was a little better. Everything was. You were just getting your feet wet for Season 1, it felt like. And you did. Season 2 was awesome. Season 1 was good too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that the attitude is it's weird. It's like you're sitting here saying that the flagship show is something that you're no longer interested in. Like you didn't watch the last season. You're like, but All Stars 1 and All Stars 2, and don't tell me what happens in All Stars 3 because I'm about to watch that shit.
I will watch it.
Now they've created this like a bubble for people like you, but the flagship is now trying to keep on bringing in the younger viewership, and this is all me observing from where I sit also.
Yeah.
So like when I hear people like when I talk to people like you that are not interested in the flagship show anymore, this is random. These are random conversations. I'm not fucking taking a poll. I'm running into people at the White Sox game, at the Cubs game, at this, at that, and they're telling me these things, and I'm kind of blown away because I still like the show.
You still like the main show?
I like both the shows.
You do?
I mean.
And maybe the last one was good. I'm just going off Double Agents. I was like, I just couldn't. It's got to the point where it was just. I think I don't know. I think they're a little. And listen, also, it's fucking hard, man. You know how many good things there are to watch on TV? Like, we're fight for that every day. People that listen to this show, listen to all our shows. There's just so much good material out there, and you only have so much time. So it's not easy to get people to watch your thing. Look at Netflix. People are hammering out Stranger Things. You know, there's just so much shit. There's just so much content out there now that it's hard to keep up. For one, you really got to be on your game. You know, I'm interested in that because you pull the mic in front of you, Hannah. I think so. Obviously, I'm 31, so I think it's natural for me to have that take. She's 24.
Oh,
right?
Shoot.
So yeah. So I want to. Do you watch the All Stars or do you watch the old?
I've watched I've watched like all of them. So I understand with All Stars where they were going. I agree. First season was just they're testing the waters. Mm-hmm. I love the show though. I think the Spies one, the plot was a little too tricky, trying to like be too convoluted, I feel like. But in the end, when there is new characters, obviously I'm like die hard for the OGs. But if you have really good new cast and they bring them out from Love Island, Bachelor, Sex on the Beach, whatever, like and they're crazy characters, like Bear, they hit.
Yeah.
You know, and they feed into it well. Mm-hmm. It just depends. I think if the setup is right and it feels like you were right on the War of Worlds 2. I just rewatched it a week ago because it was like so good. Mm-hmm. It's just the right plot with the right games and the right type of challenge where it feels like they have hope for the newbies, but the OGs are like trying to dominate.
So we're complaining about the Spies, Lies, and Allies season that just got nominated for an award at the MTV Movie Awards 2 nights ago. That's what we're talking about. You guys not liking.
Derrick, I didn't watch that one. I didn't like Double Agents. I didn't watch the one before that, so I didn't watch the new one. Put it that way. You like Double Agents, your favorite?
No, it wasn't my favorite.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. Like I don't know. that's what they put you in a bunker, and like there was just shit like that. That's just like that's.
Great
I don't know.
editing.
Yeah, but it's not
excellent. Like cinematography wise, I remember like one whole elimination.
The music people kill it.
Yeah.
They kill it.
Yeah,
they really
did.
Yeah,
they need some recognition.
Yeah, they were really good. They were playing. Was that during Corona? Yeah, we did Total Madness maybe. I know we did one of the two. We did a recap show as well, and the Offspring and the shit that they were playing was just unbelievable.
Yeah,
they did a great job.
Oh yeah, and I think that they just I think the '90s kid really and it's weird because you're 24.
My
so
sister's 7 years older though.
Oh, okay. So that's where
they can't hear you, Hannah, if you don't have a mic.
My sister was 7 years older, so I would like sneak in to watch MTV all the time, and the challenge was always on. Like it was just always on and always replay, and you get sucked in.
Yeah.
And so I just grew up on that. I grew up on MTV.
Oh yeah.
But and even for her, she's like, I like the OGs. Mm-hmm. Like she's 24 and she somehow grew up with these older characters that she somehow still gravitating to and pulling for and excited to see, as opposed to the newer kids. It's weird to me. It's weird for me to hear.
But here's the thing, though, Derrick. In my opinion, it could be this. This is a theory. People respect genuine people, right? And good or bad, all the characters from your era were genuine because there was no influencer bullshit. There was no, we're making this brand. We want to be the bad bitch. We want to be this macho guy. We want to be this person out there because we know I'll be able to go back and some guy's going to sell some fit meals to some other meathead. That wasn't a thing for you guys. You guys went there. You guys got fucked up. You were hungover. You rode stupid bikes. You did whatever, and you argued because you were drunk and you were young. Like that was the premise of the show. Am I close a little bit there? Did I say anything completely wrong?
No, I mean, look, when they asked me to do this show, I was just like, oh, fuck yeah. He goes, producer calls me up and he goes, are you still willing to have your life videotaped for the next 2 months? And I was like, 2 months? That's it? He goes, yeah, you're doing Road Rules. I go, oh, Road Rules. All right, not Real World. All right, cool. He goes, trust me, you're going to want to go home after these 2 months. Let me tell you, they hand-delivered an RV for me that I ended up crashing. I drank I was on the trip for 2 months. I probably didn't drink about 6 days. The day that I crashed this fucking house on wheels, thankfully, I did not drink the night before because I'm responsible. I did not have blood alcohol content. But they did tell me, they took me to the police station and said, you cannot even drive a skateboard in this country while you stay here. I'm like, oh shit. So, but like they literally caught me when I was 19 years old at I couldn't even drink like that in the States.
Yeah.
You know, so, but you're right. Like I got to go on an adventure of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and for me, it's lasted from 19 to I'm almost 39. Almost 20 years. It's been the coolest. I don't know how I landed this gig, but
yeah, that's what you came in here. You're like, oh, this is cool. Look what you got. You guys got this big office. You got fucking you got you carved a nice little thing out for yourself here too, man. 20 years of doing this. Your fucking passport is like a children's book with so much markings on it. You know what I mean? It's all fucking so many stamps on that motherfucker. So
I wish I still had an office like this. This would be cool. This would be fucking real cool, man.
I mean, dude, I don't see why you guys wouldn't have some. Well, you obviously have your podcast, and you guys all live in different places, but there should be some type of fantasy factory with you guys where you could make content out of. That'd be a great idea.
That'd be a great idea. Let me know if you want to talk about it after, because what we do also is, so after we started Challenge Mania podcast, which also took about 8 months to figure out how to monetize,
Mm-hmm.
Because at first we were just doing it for fun. Me and Scott Yeager, shout out Scott Yeager. It's my business partner and co-host. But when it started, we were just doing it because these are the untold stories. This person's story, that person's story, why that elimination went the way it went, why they voted this way, how that argument, started and ended, and what's the full story behind it. So we started it, and then we kind of grew. We got the guests. It was cool. Figured out how to make a little bit of money off of it. And then we started doing live shows at comedy clubs. Somehow we managed, doing the improvs, Chicago Improv, Zanies. We're doing Zanies actually September 30th here. If anyone's interested in coming.
Yeah, I'll come by.
ChallengeMania.live for tickets for any of these cities I'm about to mention. Brad, so we're also not only doing Challenge Mania Lives, but we're also doing these like Throwback Thursday parties and Sunday Fun Day parties. And Brad and Jamie will be at Five Roses in Rosemont, pulling that meet and greet off on June. I don't know. After June 18th. June 18th, because we're in New York. Anyway, so but now we're doing the city wineries, and it's somehow. We start doing these live shows with these meet and greets, and it's becoming kind of this meet and greet fantasy factory type of, without all the games, where people can come and enjoy like a comedy show or a reunion along with meeting all these people. So, not only do we have Challenge Mania podcast, but we also have Challenge Mania Live. And this is kind of how it's sort of evolved. And now we have the Untold Stories on MTV, or the Untold History coming up, which is a 6-part doc that I'll be in. Nice. And, All Stars 3, but they're also doing this, the Challenge USA that's going to be on CBS. So I'm curious to see, like, are you guys also interested in watching Love Island, Survivor, Big Brother, Amazing Race? Are you interested in watching that on Wednesday nights after you watch Big Brother? Because that's where it's evolving to. Now they're doing, I feel like it's almost like a Starbucks. Like now they're doing a UK version, an Australia version, an Argentina version, and they're going to do some sort of like War of the Worlds, which I think that they've changed the name for.
And that's the one that's going to be on Paramount?
That's the one that's going to be on in their own markets.
Okay.
Apparently in their own markets. I don't think that we're going to see the Challenge UK here on Paramount Plus in the United States. I could be wrong, but this is how much the universe is evolving. Challenge Mania podcast is just what I do.
Which is so. Do you work outside of the challenge right now, or is that in the podcast here?
So yeah, so I mean, we record with people. We do a we record with one of the more relevant characters, someone that's either been eliminated or had a big win. We interview them, once a week. We do a bonus podcast on patreon.com/Challenge Mania, where I kind of basically give you the inside scoop, talk about what's going on in detail. Again, if I interview you about what you do here at Barstool, that would be your story. There's so much more going on with what she does for work and what he does for his job and what he does and how it all interconnects. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we do at Challenge Mania podcast, and then we do the live shows.
No, that's great, man, because I think that for a long time, that's great that you're able to capitalize off it with this live shows and whatnot, because at one point that was probably the hardest part, right? Where it's like, hey, I need a regular job, and then I got to take time off, and you know what I mean? So for you to be able to, bring it all together is probably huge for you, I would imagine.
Well, for me, like I always looked at this game as like a sport, and I always knew that all the stories were never, not everyone's story is ever out there. So, it's just like sports broadcasting or journalism. I get to write about it. I get to talk about it. Yeah. And, just like, I wake up every morning and I watch ESPN and or with Stephen A or whenever, Kendrick Perkins or Charles Barkley or Shaquille O'Neal, or like everybody all these sports have this, a place where they go to and they listen to what really happened in there and the ins and outs. And I feel like I've been a part of the challenge for long enough that I've experienced enough of the highs and the lows to where we can provide you with that type of content. And it started off as just like, yo, this would be really cool to interview this athlete.
Yeah.
Into, yo, we're fucking getting all the story.
Yeah. Now, you guys did your show before Tori and Anissa's, right?
Yeah.
Were you at all? Did you feel at all slighted by MTV that they didn't just pick yours up?
Let me say the politically correct answer here.
I mean, hey, listen.
High tides raise all ships.
Yeah.
So, yes, anytime somebody comes out with a podcast, you're like, fuck, more competition. How are we going to sustain? How am I going to keep my job with all of these other people coming in and talking about the challenge? Yeah. Doing the same exact thing that I'm doing. But I still think we do it differently. I still think we have a different approach.
Yeah.
I still think that, the vision that I have, along with my co-host who has a lot of behind the scenes experience, doing shows like, Project Runway and all these other competitive reality TV shows behind the scenes, and also being a fan and also having a college degree from Syracuse and film and broadcasting and all that shit. I think along with a guy like me that's been through the elimination rounds, been through the grinds, won, lost, laughed, cried, you name it. I feel like I've been one of those characters that have experienced a lot of it. And I try not to burn too many bridges with the people that come on and my peers. So we're able to kind of do this, and we'll be doing it for almost 5 years. We'll be doing it for 5 years in November. And I think No Quitters Pod at some point was doing it. And, we came in, I needed a job, and, I feel like they kind of stopped around that time.
Yeah, it was crazy. No Quitters was probably one of the first ones. I probably, right? Maybe, I don't know. I came onto them later. I did like the last season that they ever did that was like the COVID season, I should say. But yeah, it's
dude, right now, I mean, everybody's got a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like what I was saying, it's hard to get, there's so much good content out there. You really have to you have to do something different or be a cut above, or else you're just not going to last. So, or you're not going to be successful, I should say.
So, as these, as more podcasts come in about the show, like it's, you wonder if you can sustain. You don't know. You don't know if someone else is going to come up with a a better, model or, come with more thunder. But as of right now, like, we just had, I'm not going to tell you what happened. You don't want to know what happened on All Stars 3. You don't want to know. Let me tell you this much.
Within the first 5 seasons? Within the first 5 episodes?
Yeah.
Because that's where we're at right now.
So let me just tell you. Okay. A lot of stuff happens with Yes.
Okay.
A lot, and that's who's on the podcast right now.
Did it air yet with Yes?
Yep. A lot of stuff happened with Naya and Jordan.
And the first 5 episodes.
Yep.
So people have seen this already.
A lot, yep.
Oh, fuck, I got to watch it.
It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, a lot of stuff has happened, and I'm telling you that we have the story.
Yeah.
We have the detailed story on challengemediapodcast.com because 45 minutes is not nearly enough time.
And it doesn't show everything at all.
Not even close.
No, for sure.
Not even close.
For sure.
So we just had Naya on. We just had Kendall on, who had a lot of stuff going on with me being the problem. So, so I'm also facing these issues where they're like, no, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
You caused the problem in my situation. And I'm like, oh, I guess I gotta have to just take my licks as we go.
Yeah.
So
how much does it ever make you nervous at all to like because being casted is what's that like? Where it's like all these people are just waiting for a phone call, and you came back on the main show 30-30, right?
Yep.
After how many seasons off?
I think it was 7 years and 10 seasons off.
7 years, dude. Like you probably sat there at one point being like, oh, this is it, right? I would assume.
Yeah, I thought it was it. I thought I was going to be working in the oil field with the miserable fucking life for a very long time. I didn't know how I was going to get out of it, so I started pulling out badass clips of shit that I used to do on the challenge. And I was like, I'm like watching the show. I'm like, I got one clip that's way better than this dude's whole challenge career. I'm like, let me just drop this shit real quick.
Do you remember what it was?
Dude, I've been in elimination rounds where motherfuckers are just like straight up fucking pulling my shirt as I run through the fucking touchdown, and the shirt just like rips off as I walk through the finish line, and the guy's holding my shirt and fucking throwing it on the ground, pissed off because I just scored a touchdown with the fucking coconut because I just answered a trivia question the right way. It's just the weirdest. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Yeah.
But in the challenge world, like, that's bad fucking ass.
Yeah, for sure.
You are not going to replicate what I did 10 years ago in this one clip with your whole fucking challenge career. And that's kind of how I was going through a divorce, and I wanted my job back, I wanted my life back, so and
that's like the people who I don't know if maybe people gave Johnny shit back in the day for doing so many of them and being the old guy. Dude,
yes.
Fuck that.
Yes.
Fuck that.
We did.
Live your life. Like, dude, and I'm sure there was a stigma amongst you guys, the older crowd, who was like, how long's Derrick going to keep doing it? You know what I mean? Yes. So like, but fuck that. Dude, like, that's a fun life. You do, like, if you could make it work, why wouldn't you make that work? I'll never understand that.
Because you can't make this last forever, can you? How long are you going to keep doing this?
I mean, look at Mark Long, dude. Like, it's crazy. How old is he?
He's 51.
Is he on season 3?
He's on season 3.
Oh my God.
And he's doing a good job.
Okay. All right. Like, look at that, dude. Clearly you can do it for a fucking pretty long time. If you play your cards right, whatever, physically you're able to do so. That's great, man. Hey, before we continue, I want to talk about one more advertiser for this show, and that advertiser is Upstart. Upstart is powered personal loans that can help you pay down high-interest debt all online with the simple and easy to understand payment terms. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, Upstart can help you get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. Rather than just looking at your credit score alone, Upstart considers other factors like your income, employment, and other information provided in your loan application to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000 without impacting your credit score, and you could even receive the funds as fast as one business day after accepting your loan, which is important. If you need the money fast, Upstart's there for you. So check out your rate at upstart.com/Eddie. That's upstart.com/EDDIE. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit, income, and certain other information provided in your loan application. Just want to say that one more time. It's not just a thumbs up, thumbs down system. They have a bunch of different ways to make sure that you qualify. So go do that. One more time, upstart.com/Eddie, and start being smarter about your debt today. All right, let's hop back into the episode.
But I also don't think that any of these people, like, it started off as a game show. I don't think at any point, like, even the challenge gods, I call the producers challenge gods, I don't think that they thought that this game show that started off on some fucking dirt road in the middle of nowhere was going to turn into the Wizard of Oz.
No, probably not. Probably not. And I also do want to ask if you think that's good for it, that you went from having cookie challenges to see who could eat more cookies to flying off of fucking skyscrapers, who could grab this flag, and jumping over a car and somersaulting down a slide. Like, do you think at some point that shift, like, to me, I think at the end of the day, like, the people win. Like, if you got interesting people will watch them play a free throw shooting contest. Like, the big hoop and hollering challenges are cool to an extent, but I just don't think you need that all the time. I don't know if you feel the same way though. Like, is that what gets you going? I think they did a couple seasons ago. They did a blind soccer, like Wes and Kellyanne. I was like, that's fine. I'm cool with that. I don't need all that shit. But I don't know. Maybe you feel different.
I just like doing cool shit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, personally.
Yeah, personally, like, they throw a moving truck in there and you got to jump from fucking truck to truck or something like that. Like, sign me up. But it is very weird how in tune we are to watching some of these weird puzzles where you're like, like all they're doing is like trying to pick up a fucking block with like they're playing that that fish game where it's got like the magnet at the end of the
yeah.
You're like they're like flip turn, they're like trying to reach this block that has like a magnet on it and it's the wrong side and you're just like, holy shit, are they gonna get that?
Yeah.
And like how like the puzzle you're like, are they gonna get the puzzle? Oh my gosh, they have one more piece. It's like, dude, it's a fucking puzzle. It's a puzzle.
Yeah.
Like, why do you enjoy? Why is the intensity picked up so high watching a puzzle as opposed to like a mud pit fucking football?
I don't know, but it is. It is. Why do you wait? You said you think you know?
Because puzzles are like even level playing field. You don't have to be a certain size. You can't bigger than one guy or whatever. It's a puzzle, so it's your brain. So essentially, when you get there, it doesn't matter. You could lose your whole lead, and you screw up a puzzle that's huge.
I hate to say this, but I'm with you. I would not be good at those things either. So it's not even level playing field. If you got the brains that we got, I hate that shit. Yeah, do you got someone like Sarah who are just wizards? That's a different playing field. But I get what you're saying. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of come to the table with a different skill set, and for some people, like, that skill set is, I used to put puzzles together. I used to, go to Barnes & Noble and pick up the brain games, and my mom and dad used to have it there on the table.
Are you a good puzzle guy?
No.
No, okay, yeah, I was going to say, I remembered you not being a puzzle guy.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. No, okay, yeah, good. No, I'm glad I got that right.
But, nowadays, I'm like, let's go to Barnes & Noble and figure this thing out, or... the skill set is so wide. It's like, can you swim? Can you climb? Can you, do a tangram? Can you do math? Can you, run? Can you, it's kind of like CrossFit with more intangibles.
Yeah.
Because in CrossFit, you kind of, you got to jump. You got to climb a rope. You got to do snatch. You got to be able to deadlift. You got to, like, there's so many of these variations that can be coupled or tripled together that it really turns you into like an ultimate type of fucking athlete,
Mm-hmm.
In some ways.
And then the motherfucker about it all is it's all about whatever game's drawn that day.
Yeah.
If it's your strong suit, you feel great. If not, you're fucked.
Yep.
Right? Like, I mean, you show up there, a game to your strength, and you show up and you see hall brawl and you got to go against some fucking big motherfucker. It's like, fuck, it's tough.
Like, you literally have this basketball hoop right here behind you, and it's a little kid's basketball hoop thing that you would buy at like Sam's or whatever, and you've probably shot on there more times than I have. Even though I've got I've played I played a little bit of college basketball back in my day. Like, you could very easily beat me in that and send me home. Like, it can happen. You know what I mean?
1,000%. Or we could go out there and pole wrestle and
and see how many things we can break.
Yeah. What do you look back on and would say was the hardest decision you've ever made on the show?
On the show?
The Island, maybe? I feel like that's the first time where you broke bad, so to speak.
Your challenge knowledge is very good. I did break the other way.
But you had to, right? That was your first win or no?
It was my second win.
Okay.
It was my second win, but this was a position where, were you going to go with, you have to pick a side.
Yeah.
And at some point, once you pick that side, you have then broken bad with the other side. And this kind of happens in every game. In every game, like you can play the middle, but at some point you're going to piss half the people off. One half, it doesn't. You pick a side, you're breaking off. Mm-hmm. You're breaking friends, you're breaking trust, you're breaking relationships. But in this one, in this particular instance, I had to break off with Rachel. And I don't know if you know that, but I had to pick, either Johnny, Kenny, it's kind of like just them two, or pick the girl side, who was very pissed off at Johnny. Just Johnny, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And I picked, the side that I needed to show loyalty to. And you're asking some tough questions now because I hate it. I mean, I hate it, dude.
I'm sure you do, but
the voting is the worst, man. The voting, especially when you've developed a relationship with these people, you've done cool things with these people, then you have to go, well, I got to pick a side. That's the worst.
So was that it though? There had to be a time where you voted or you did something where you're like, man, it broke my heart to pick this person, and maybe they still hold a grudge to this day. Is there anyone like that?
I think I wonder if Theo Vaughn still hates my guts. From,
really?
Fresh meat. Look, she's holding her face. Well, we're talking about things that you try to sweep under the rug and never relive again. There was a time on Fresh Meat where me and DM had to make a decision with voting Theo in, and I kind of left it up to DM a little bit, and they pulled the trigger and Theo lost, and there may have gone our friendship. Although when he was trying to do it last comic standing, I tried to do as much as I could to
help him out.
To just
promote it, whatever.
I was like, can I make up for this, please? Can I make up? And I thought at that point that at some point they were going to put us on as rivals or something like that. But he never came back. He said he had a back injury and he would never come back again. So
have they tried since, do you know?
With Theo?
I mean, Theo's a fucking huge star right now.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure they have. I'm sure he's probably from my understanding is people have asked him. They've gone to these shows, his comedy shows, and done the meet and greets and asked him, what do you think of this person, and would you ever come back? And he's like, oh, it's just a game show that I did a long time ago, and it doesn't sound like he's ever coming back. So
and it's funny because his lifestyle obviously would give him, you would think give him opportunity to do another one, and I just think of the comic material he'd be able to write from doing another season and just hanging out with you fucking people. It'd be unreal.
But he just makes it up as he goes.
Yeah.
His comedy is so rare. You can't.
Yeah, he's whatever he's doing is working just fine.
Yeah, but you can't. It's one of a kind. The way he presents, words and thoughts and ideas and stories, they're just fucking
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's great. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah. Anyway. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's, you still think about Theo. Have you ever ran into him?
No, I haven't run into him in a while.
So you don't know for sure.
No, but
you're pretty sure.
No. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
It doesn't matter. I mean, look, we're both living okay,
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So the thing is, the bottom line is these things happen on the shows all the time. The complexities of playing the game, the complexities of one vote, and my relationship with you. I just had Kendall on, and she's like, well, we've basically developed, like I thought we were cool, and you're doing, and I'm like, basically I'm not the reason why you went into an elimination. But her rebuttal is like, but you still fucking voted for me at some point. What the fuck is the deal? I thought we were all right. And I gotta be like sitting here taking it and being like, well, I'm cool with these people too. So what am I supposed to do? Just, fuck up my whole game for this one vote? Like the complexities of every vote they're so difficult to understand. And like at some point, it's like, well, I got to pick that person instead of that person. You got to
have a plan, right? I mean, you got to have a plan.
You have a little bit of a plan, but sometimes you fucking just wing it.
Yeah, sure. But you
don't know how it's going to go.
But you got to make the decision when it comes. Like, I feel like early on, and tell me if I'm wrong, this is strictly a viewer's perspective. I met you today. But early on, before maybe that Theo and that Island situation like I talked about, you played like a clean game. You're like, I'm the nice guy, but I kind of an underdog. And then at some point, like I said, you were just like, if I ever want to win some money on this show, I got to look out for myself to an extent. And I feel like you've found a way to do that.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing too is trying to like be respectful within, cutting people off, because it's literally like, it's sad. It's like Game of Thrones, man. You walk up, you're like, we were homies a minute ago, and now I'm sorry, like I had to do it. And if they come back, then it's,
Yeah, and you'll go about it a different way though. Like you at least like. You have the remorse on your face. You let them know that, hey, this sucks. I had to do this. Fucking Johnny, he'll just cut that head off, walk away, and fucking clean the sword with their T-shirt.
Oh, and laugh about it.
Exactly.
Hey, anybody else want to throw some salt in this while we're at it?
Yeah, exactly. Which I love Johnny too, but
yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's a great show for a reason. So you guys have done an awesome job.
Well, I'm curious to see how this untold history goes.
Yeah, so we go more into that. What's the
So they asked me to be a part of this documentary. They talked about it like it was think about it like The Last Dance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, The Last Dance?
That's what they told you?
I'm like, bro, I'm from fucking Chicago, and The Last Dance was like pretty fucking good. Like, are you guys really hitting me up for this? Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Come to find out, there's about 70 people that get interviewed, right? From like media personalities to, probably people that were on like Champs versus Pros. I mean, look, like Kim Kardashian even had a plug in there. I don't know how they did that, but she's in there, and after I got done getting interviewed, I was like, that didn't feel like The Last Dance. That felt like the first dance. Like, you guys are literally asking me about how all this shit began, who I was, what I was doing.
Yeah.
Those first fucking interactions with these assholes.
Mm-hmm.
How it went down. So I still think will be a lot left unsaid. So therefore, check out challengemaniapodcast.com for the rest of those stories. Come say what's up to us at a Challenge Mania Live, challengemania.live.
Derrick Kosinski, he'll never turn down a plug. Know that about him. If you take anything else from this show, I'm fucking with you. Plug away, please. I hope everyone listens to it, because I love the show. Like I said, I was always worried, like, oh, is it gonna make it? Is it this? And now with streaming, just being able to make this All-Stars, it's like taking a new head of its own, so it's great. It's awesome, man.
What's also cool though about like Paramount Plus is like they literally went back and put the old seasons in there.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you liked Charles Barkley in his prime, like you could go back and watch Charles Barkley in his prime.
Yeah.
Like if you like, Tony Kukoc, like Tony Kukoc started on fucking Gauntlet 2 or whatever, Cutthroat or Rivals or whatever season, your favorite personality.
For sure.
You can go back and watch those seasons now. So I thought all that, and then Netflix picked up a couple seasons, and that was cool. And I think that they're just going with it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like I said, that 7-year stretch between challenges, and even after, like, Dirty 30 was in some ways an anomaly because they brought a lot of people back, and they slowly brought people back since then, I feel. I don't know if I could be off base. You're living the life. I'm just talking from a viewer's perspective. But then now with this, it's like, all right, we'll give you guys what you've been yelling about, and we're also going to keep doing what we want to do, this whole new whatever. And I'm not completely against it. Like Hannah said, like Bear was great. Like, you know what I mean? Like a good TV, I should say. I don't know. I don't know if he's banned or something, but
he's definitely banned.
He's banned? Oh, okay. I don't know what he did. Sorry. I know I said that because I think he might have did something problematic. I don't condone that, but I know he was on the show. He was good TV.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I agree. I mean, I think he was good TV. He's just definitely canceled on many from many different perspectives, but like, yeah, I guess every now and then you can.
Well, I just read what he did. I did not know that. Yeah, he's canceled, big time.
He's canceled as fuck.
Rightfully so. Bad example. Why was you fed me him as an example? Wow, that's wrong. But he was like. Kyle's still around, right?
Kyle's still around.
Yeah, he's good. I like it. He's not. He didn't do nothing, did he? He's not canceled.
No, he's good. He's good. He's okay. He's living that, like, I'm a troublemaker, you know. I'm a reformed bad boy. I was on the Jersey Shore or the Geordie Shore, and now I'm married and have this life. Like, you could definitely tell, like, he's like, you know, tries to keep his nose clean. Like, we all get into that, you know. You're like, you know, like, you start, like, this whole reality TV run is all like kind of like playing with fire, because like we're literally letting you guys watch, you know, our lives while we're making, you know, chess moves, like real life versions of chess. And we're like, all right, well, we're gonna fucking cut that guy's head off, and they're gonna watch it, you know, and they're either gonna like it or not. But like with Kyle, like, again, I think he's a good personality. I think he's a good dude, and I think that, you know, I don't know, like sometimes you start becoming like boring TV, like you're too nice, you're too soft. I've had that happen too. Yeah, for
sure.
You know?
But now, like I said, though, I was talking about
I'm a dad, I'm a family guy.
But I was talking about being genuine and stuff. Like, how much do you hate that you have to go and maybe overcorrect yourself and be loud, obnoxious, and an asshole to kind of make sure you keep getting casted, because that's what's going to keep the blood in your system, right? Like, that's what's going to keep you relevant.
Yeah, I mean,
that sucks. I don't envy that.
It's a very, very weird thing. Because, I mean, in some ways, like, you're you. It's just like kind of an extension of you. Yeah. You know, it's just like, does that extension of you kind of fall off somewhere? You know, like, you don't want to look like a complete idiot as you're trying to be an extension of yourself in some ways, you know? But like, for me, like, I like sports. I like talking shit. I like the competition. I like drinking a little bit. Like, it's going to happen. I like, at some point, like you were saying, I was already the recipe for this reality TV fucking whatever, someone that I'm going to watch, root for, laugh at. Like, at some point, the originals, the OGs, had that recipe already instilled in them, whatever it comes from, their parents, their environment, and they get picked. Like, now they're not getting picked because they have 300,000 followers, 500,000 followers, 1 million followers, right? At some point, they were just picked up off, you know, from that casting door where they were like, you know, what do you think about gay marriage, interracial dating, and what's cheating? Oh, and by the way, what's your favorite movie? And make an assumption about someone in the group who you don't know. Oh, that's where we went wrong. But come to find out, it's a spectacle. They're fireworks that you didn't even know you had in you.
Who's someone, maybe it could be, obviously I would hope you'd use a little old school, not crazy old school, but whatever, during your day, like during the main day or the main show, that you think didn't get a fair shake? Like, their personality would have transferred over. They just needed another season. Like, they would have got there. But they didn't get there because maybe they weren't interesting enough in the first season or the second one.
Ooh, man. So back in my road rule season, and just to bring it back to the Chicagoland area, my road rule season, I did a show. I went to Maine East High School, and I did a show with the guy that went to Maine South High School. So we were in the same grade.
What was his name?
Patrick Maloney.
I don't know if I remember.
Patrick Maloney went to Maine South. I went to Maine East. And we both somehow were 19, 20 years old going on this show in Chile and Argentina. And I think that this dude would have been like challenge champ, multi-time challenge champ.
Yeah.
And fucking tall, dark, and handsome. You know how the Maine South kids are.
Oh, yeah,
They're fucking good at everything.
Yeah, I mean, the fucking football. They're so good at football.
They're good at everything. So, and this guy, same thing with the ladies. Like, the drama, all of it. Like, had he not been upset about the edit or how they portrayed him on the show, I mean, he was a Ivy League wrestler at UPenn. And, I think that he just thought that he was above all this shit.
Kinda, yeah.
And I don't know what he's doing now, but I think had he done one season of the challenge, he would have flourished. I mean, he would have been the best.
Yeah. That's a good answer. Then he's like the best that never was. Who's that guy that they did the 30 for 30 for him? That's him for you.
Oh gosh, who was that? I don't know. I do my 30 for 30.
Dupree, SMU. I forget what happened to him. His last name was Dupree. He had bad knees or something.
Bo Jackson.
Interesting.
Bo Jackson.
He got hurt too.
Too early.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Dupree.
Yeah, Marcus Dupree. That's it. Is Landon's not on the season? Is he?
No, Landon won't, and apparently Landon won't come back.
He'll never come back.
He's on this Untold documentary. But he was another one that was like, all right, did 4 challenges, won 3 times, had one badass elimination, where he one elimination that he lost to Brad. It was, arguably one of the best eliminations of all time. And I just guess they're not giving him enough money. I guess he wants a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
He's putting in like dentist chairs or something like that.
Hey man, if you feel that's what you're worth, who are you to argue, right?
No, but like I'll hit him up and he's like, yeah, I'm going, hiking for my anniversary with my wife. I'm like, dude, you fucking do this shit for fun. Like you don't.
Yeah, he's got to come back for one season, give the people what they want. Come on, Landon, what are you doing?
Give him the money.
Yeah, true. I'm trying to think of someone who I think maybe needed more of a shot. I always thought I thought we'd see a lot more of Avery. I don't know if you guys overlapped, but I thought we'd see a lot more of her. I always thought she was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, she's primed up for an all-star season.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, like, they've got to have reasons why they're not pulling some of these. Mm-hmm. Because, with the amount of women that got hurt, that have been getting hurt at least this season, I'm sure that they're looking for,
different, different alternates and whatnot.
Just, I don't know why she wasn't even an alternate. I don't know why she's not in the mix. I have no idea.
Yeah, I thought she would. Trying to think. I mean, he's passed away since tragically, but the other Chicago guy was crazy TV. That Joey guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Him? Yeah, he was crazy TV. He had a lot of demons, but that guy was some must-watch TV for sure.
I thought he was definitely going to make it into the challenge.
Yeah,
fold.
For sure. I would have thought so too. Southside guy. I don't know, man. Who's your? Do you have a GOAT? Who's your Mount Rushmore?
I mean,
I'm sure you get asked all the time.
Johnny and CT are easily 1 and 2. Johnny's got the 7 championships. CT's got the 5. Then you got Darrell with 4. Mm-hmm. And then you have a handful of us that have 3. So, but I guess it's not always about the rings and championships. I think Mike the Miz, Mike the Miz and Mark Long, you kind of have to throw them in there a little bit in the conversation, right? For how Mike the Miz has basically carried the challenge when it was, unknown, uncharted waters. And he said, no, I'll come back and I'll host the reunions. I'll come back and I'll host Champs versus Stars. I'll do that. I'll come back and I'll do Derrick's podcast. I'll come back and I'll do this. So I think he's one of those people that, was an integral part of being an ambassador for our little sport that was created.
For sure.
And, he didn't let us go, and he remembered where he came from. And he gives back to us whenever. So, that guy right there, I mean.
He's like the logo. He's a Jerry West, right? Him and Mark, good. They're Magic and Bird. And then, LeBron and Jordan came, So I don't know. Maybe that's a way to look at it.
Well, and then the way, Mark Long was able to spin this All-Stars thing and make it happen. Like, there's so many people that were calling for Avery and Mark and Derrick and Brad and, you name it, Veronica, Rachel. And somehow Mark was able to kind of make that happen. But going back to your Bird and Magic reference there, that's an interesting one.
Might fit. I don't know. But yeah, Jordan's so fucking impressive too, man.
Yep.
Holy shit. Especially with, being obviously the hand situation. He's he's in mine for sure.
Yeah.
He's in my top 4.
I almost think that hand is a superpower. I think that thing is the reason why he's so good at so many different things. I just think he's excelled in so many different aspects of his life. Even going to Ukraine, he's one of those people that he's a hero.
Yeah, he's
on All Stars right now.
Is he on All Stars? Oh yeah, I'm fucking gonna watch. I don't know why I fell behind. I don't know why. And then females.
I mean, I just think that someone like Coral, that's one person that we should never forget. That kind of, maybe she didn't win all the championships, but she was the face of the franchise for so long.
She fits into that Bird and Magic category too, definitely. To me, at least.
And then you have, on the flip side, you have Evelyn, who won 3 challenge championships, and she's arguably the best girl that's ever played the game.
And then you got Emily, and then you got Laurel. There's a lot of good ones for sure.
Rachel's
good. She's screaming over there.
I think Laurel beat me multiple times in challenge games.
She's awesome. She's another one. Is she on this season?
No.
Who do people ask you about the most? When is this person coming back?
Probably Landon. I think Landon's a big one.
Because now that there's been 3 seasons of this, a lot of people have come back. Landon's one of the last remaining where it's what's
I think that
what's going on?
I think that for this season, we had a lot of comebacks. We had Veronica, we had Jordan, Naya, who am I missing? Oh shit. Wes. So, and we almost had Johnny, but something happened. So I'm pretty sure, I'm sure Johnny at some point will come on. CT at some point will come on.
When do you think they transfer into just being All-Stars guys, or do you think they're...
I think that they can go back and forth.
They could do whatever they want?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
They're let me do the short season. I want to make some money real quick.
Yeah.
Let me do the long season.
I also wonder how much the Real World dying kind of hurt the OG kind of thing. Because that was... The fact that I got to watch these people for a whole season in a house and then go... continue a storyline was always part of the intrigue, for sure. So once that died, it was all right, I know we need new people. I don't know why they just didn't pump more fresh meat seasons and stuff like that. That never made sense to me. Let's just automatically go to, let's get this guy from that show and this guy from that show. But...
Well, they went to Are You the One, and then they went to Big Brother, and then they went to Survivor, and then they went to Love Island, and then no Bachelors yet. One Bachelor. They had... I know who you're talking about.
Polly was on that season.
What's my dude's name? I forgot his fucking name.
He was out second round, but
I know who you're talking about.
And a Bachelorette, Shanice or something.
They have had a Bachelorette?
Yeah, no, Chanel,
yeah.
She was from a different. Yeah, I thought she was from Bachelor another country. No.
And listen, I get all their thinking. That's you're pulling from a lot of pools.
There's a Vanderpump Rules one.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Faith, yeah.
So they tried doing that, but I don't know. You guys want to keep watching the OG, so that's that. So Real World. So have you watched the Real World Homecoming seasons?
No, I have not.
All right, you're gonna blow your mind. This will definitely blow your mind. Watch Real World Homecoming, New Orleans. It's probably better than the Real World you remember. And if you like the Real World back then, you're just gonna be this might be fucking better. Because
I'm gonna check it out.
Because they're bringing back like all those fucked up scenarios from way back when, 22 years ago, and they're reliving them and they're playing them the footage and they're making them talk about it. And some of it hasn't changed. Like as far as like they can't fabricate the religious conversations. They can't fabricate the political conversations. I mean, I don't know if there's been any political, but somewhat like, you know, when you talk about, you know, racial issues, religious issues, like they're fucking reliving that shit. And they're just talking about it straight up. And it's something else, man.
Yeah, that sounds pretty real. That sounds pretty real. I'll check that out too. I lost in the shuffle, I guess. But no, man, I love it. I'm glad to have you in. We got to get Brad here next time. That fucking guy. I was DMing him.
Hard to get.
Yeah, he's hard to get.
Hard to get.
Come on, Brad. We need you in here. But yeah, anything else? Did we not get to anything? Challenge Mania podcast. Did we say that enough? Say it one more time.
ChallengeManiaPodcast.com for all the untold stories. ChallengeMania.live for tickets to see us live and in concert. I mean, just not in concert, but kind of.
But somewhat. And then Paramount Plus, the new season is airing as we speak.
All Stars 3. Paramount Plus, new episode every Wednesday. Your boy's still in the game.
Still in the game. All
Going
right.
for that 4th challenge championship.
Good luck. Anything else, Derrick? That's it?
Yo, let's do more Barstool.
Yeah.
Let's do more Barstool.
I'll have
Barstool
you guys
Sports
on.
Chicago. Is Barstool Chicago or Barstool Sports Chicago?
Yeah, mostly Barstool Chicago.
Barstool Chicago.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm happy to be home. I'm happy you guys are here.
Dude. I honestly, you know, I people are probably so sick of me talking about Chicago on the show, but I always root for you guys because you're from here. So
thank you.
You, Brad, everyone. So it's good. It's good to see.
I tried getting Jamie and Brad here.
Yeah.
We almost did it.
I'm not going nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
You got a cool job.
You got a cool job. You got a cool job. But thank you, Derrick. You're the man, bro.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. That's it for today. We'll catch you all tomorrow.